So as a co-founder of Arcee, you've been instrumental in integrating model merging that Charles just described into Arcee's company offerings. So tell us how the market has responded to this technology, maybe feedback you've heard from early adopters. And I understand, if this isn't too many questions all at once, that you have a unique strategy that is working out well already in terms of bridging both offering things open source so our listeners can go and access model merging as an open source technique, but you're also landing enterprise clients at the same time.
Correct. Yeah. So model merging as a technique kind of blew me away when I first came across it, right after Charles released the repo. And, the concept of, you had mentioned it at the top there, transfer learning, right? I mean, it's essentially the next wave of transfer learning, in my opinion, right? You're able to utilize, there's millions of open source checkpoints that exist somewhere. You can now bring them all into one unified model through model merging and MergeKit, right? So, it was one of those things where, as a CEO of a company, you recognize something that's about to explode potentially, and you want to be kind of, driving that bus, right? So, I'm ex Hugging Face. I used to work at Hugging Face, right? Which I'm sure most of the listeners know. I still have a lot of people, from within Hugging Face that are close friends, and it just kept coming up. Like I'd have conversations with them, and model merging, and then this crazy library called MergeKit. So we brought it in. We adopted it internally, and then from there we brought Charles in as well to kind of steer the ship on that, right? So from a what the market has been saying, I mean, it's kind of a knowledge kind of curve, right? In that sense, right? Model merging is so novel and so new, people don't really understand. I mean, even now I see people saying like, well, why would anyone want to merge, right? And it's like, well, I mean, I'm so close to it, I say, why would you not merge, right? So but through that education, right, that through kind of teaching the community and the market education around model merging, we've had a ton of interest, right, from obviously the developer community, right? The amount of models that are used MergeKit on the Hugging Face Open LLM leaderboard is massive, but it's starting to get felt from within the enterprise, right, where we get outreach from companies like Fidelity or Bayer, right, the pharmaceutical company, that say, oh, we've played with merging. What do it seems fantastic, right? So it's trickling its way in, as every great open source project eventually does, right? It trickles its way up. So yeah, it's been great. It's just a matter of continuing to showcase the power of model merging, and I think it speaks for itself, right? When it comes to what it can do, it's just a matter of getting more people to understand it and know it's there and it exists. Um, and I keep saying over and over and over, it'll be soon. There'll be a day where it's not why would I merge? It's everybody does a merge. Everybody does as a post training technique, just as Google just did when they released the new Gemma, right? Like when Google starts using it, something good is happening.
Yeah,
And I think you had one more question at the end of that. I forgot it.
It is, and well, I mean, this is a perfect point for me to actually re-articulate it. So we understand your excitement about model merge, and I guess I should highlight that the tool for doing that is called MergeKit, right? So the model merging is done through MergeKit, one word. I'll provide a link to the GitHub repo for MergeKit. So, Mark, you became aware of MergeKit early. You rightly, in my view, identified this as something that is transformative, that is at the frontier, and places like Google picking it up and using it makes a lot of sense to me. Where do you see the commercial opportunity, or where have you already succeeded in getting? And because you're not a charity, you're not there trying to just create open source tools to it does make the world a better place, and that must be a nice part of having a business like Arcee's. But simultaneously, you've got to pay the bills and you've got to make investors happy. And so, yeah, how's that? How do you monetize this?
Yeah, I mean, so overall, I think that actually makes us very unique because we have monetized successfully early on, right? We are just about to hit 2 million in revenue, and we just started selling
Wow.
a product in November. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so we are not the flashy AI Gen AI startup that is going to figure out how to make money later. We actually figured it out from day one, and it's because we're providing something that's extremely valuable to these organizations, right? And it doesn't, you mentioned MergeKit as a library, as an open source, platform and repo, like that's open source, but we actually have a platform that is MergeKit and other things wrapped into a platform that allows organizations to customize their language models, right? I say it all the time. I think every organization will want to own and customize their own LLM at some point soon, right? Closed source models are good. Closed source APIs are good. They do their job. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Plenty of people will use GPT, they'll use Claude, and they'll have their own models, right? And the reason they're going to want to have their own models is they're going to want to customize them on their own data that they do not want to share with closed source APIs, right? So what we've done early on is we've recognized that, and we've capitalized on the fact of organizations wanting to keep their data private and have a secure platform. And so we have built this, our software stack, which is not only merging, it's training and merging, right? So understanding that the true power of merging comes with training your own model as well. And it's completely deployable inside your virtual private cloud, where your data never leaves and it's completely secure, right? So that messaging has a ton of pull from organizations of all size, not just the enterprise.